Okay, we've got to practice 9. We've got to practice 9 and we've not even done a downward facing dog yet. There is so much more to yoga than downward facing dogs, but they do feel great. But some people have wrist issues and they find weight bearing on their wrists a challenge. So downward facing dog is a posture to build up to. Today's practice is involving downward facing dog. Let's do it. Okay, come to seated. Now in your seated position, we're going to release our legs, bring our hands behind us. So make sure you feel comfortable. Inch your feet so they're a little further apart than your hips. And begin to take your knees to one side and then the other. Now let the knees knock from left to right. You can take your head to look the opposite way if you wish to limber through your neck. Maybe even take your glance the same way as your knees, to change it a little bit so we're not in habits. And then come back to centre. We're going to roll onto our back. So remember, if you need something behind your head, like a blanket or a cushion, then place it there. We're going to bring our right knee into our chest and then keep the right kneecap closed. Open out your hip. Keep your right foot flexed as you place the edge of your right foot onto your left thigh. Now bring your arms quite wide. Take a breath in. As you exhale, drop your legs down to one side and then the other. So keep letting your legs rock from side to side. A little oiling through the pelvis. We're starting some release work around our right inner thigh, our right hip. Now come back into centre, hold still, keep your right foot alive, so that means nice and flexed. And see if you can start to push yourself up a little onto your elbows. So explore how it would feel to push on your elbows to lift up. If you get there and think, that's not for me, then keep yourself laying down onto the mat. If you want to explore that movement, you might inch yourself up a little more onto your hands. Again, keep your right foot alive. This gentle rocking motion from side to side will help. And whether you're up high on your hands or whether you're here on your elbows, can you take the legs to one side and then the other again? Nice and slowly. Now come back to centre, and in your chosen position, whether elbows down or you're laying down, or whether you're up on your hands, let's hold here. Take a breath in. Exhale, lean into the intensity. Keep going. Every exhale, you lean into the release. Never push into pain. You lean into the intensity. Now start to walk your way back to the earth if you're up high. Lower yourself down. Bring your right knee across and then foot to the earth. Both legs to the chest, and then raise your legs up to the sky. Give them a shake. And let's do that on the other side. So place your feet down. Bring your left knee into your chest. Keep the kneecap nice and closed as you open out the hip, placing the edge of the left foot on top of the right thigh. The left foot stays alive, so it stays switched on. We don't want any floppy feet. So nice flexed foot. Bring the arms wide. Doesn't matter at this point if palms are up or down. We're focusing on the hips and the pelvis. Rocking one leg, rocking your legs to one side and then the other. Now once you feel slightly more oiled and warmed around your hips, especially the left hip on this side that we're releasing, come to stillness. Keep your left foot alive. Anchor down into your right foot, and again, let's explore. So you might push onto your elbows, get a little way and think, nope, I'm going to stay down. Or you might want to explore it a bit more. Forearms, keep the foot alive. Maybe coming up onto your hands. Take a moment. Let yourself settle into the posture. Find your breathing. And then let your legs rock to one side and then the other. Move slowly and enjoy it. Gentle release work. Now come back into center. I've reshuffled my bottom, I've moved around, so you might need to do the same. And again, you either stay in your chosen hand position or you lay back down. And start to lean into your intensity that you're feeling around your left hip. Breathe, riding the breath. So every in-breath is welcoming and opening. Every out-breath is softening, and you lean into the intensity on your out-breath. Check that the tongue is soft, that you're not gripping around your teeth. And lower yourself back to the earth. Now to remove the leg, bring the knee into the chest, place the foot to the earth. Both legs can come to the chest, raise your legs to the sky, give them a little shake. Bend both knees, feet to the earth, and let's roll to one side. So roll yourself over and come up to seated. Once you're in seated, we're going to find this diamond shape with our legs. So quite a large diamond, soles of the feet together. We're not coming into Balankonasana, Ashtanga style, where we bring the legs all the way in. We're going to keep it quite wide. And again, take the hands behind us and fold one leg on top of the other, butterfly the legs open, and the other leg moves to the other side. Keep going. Okay, now we should be a little more limbered to come into our next sequence. So, next time your left leg goes on top of your right, make that the last time, and swing your legs to one side. As you come to all fours, we're going to reach the arms out in front, tuck the toes under, and we're coming into downward facing dog. So lengthen your arms away from you, lifting the knees, lifting the tailbone. Let your spine lengthen by raising your tailbone up to the sky. And then start to tread water by pedaling your heels to the earth. Ripple this into moving the hips from side to side. And then come to stillness in downward facing dog. Breathe slowly. Noticing the fullness of your in-breath and the completeness of your out-breath. Now come to your knees. Rest your knees down, lifting up the body. Raise your arms to the sky, inhaling. Exhale, forward fold. crown of the head towards the earth, child's pose. Inhale, raise the arms up to the sky. This time, hands into your lower back. Draw your elbows together as you lift the chest. Come into your child's pose, extending the arms. Tuck the toes under. Now this time, we're going to place the forearms to the mat. We're going to raise our knees and come into forearm dog. Now I can appreciate that's quite challenging, so we're not going to be here long. And bring your knees back to the earth, rest to child's pose. Inhaling, raise the arms up to the sky, lift the head, the body. Exhale, forward fold, come into child's pose. Inhale, raise the arms up, and as you breathe out, we bring the hands into the top of the pelvis, elbows together, lifting the chest. Come into child's pose. As you reach the arms forwards, tuck the toes. Again, lift into downward facing dog. Breathe slowly. And then place your knees back to the earth. Lifting up, body rises, arms lift. Exhale, lower the hands, hands into the top of the pelvis. Engage your gluteals as you bring your elbows closer together, lifting the chest. Return the hands back to the mat. Tuck the toes under, reach the arms long. Now this time, forearms to the mat again. Lift the knees, come into your forearm dog. You might want to hold it for a moment more. And lower the knees and bring your foreheads to touch the earth as you rest in child's pose. Now come back to downward facing dog. Lift your knees. And we're going to step our right foot between our hands. Turn your back heel down, and as you lift up, come into warrior two. Now reach in our warrior two from the center of the body outwards. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands to the mat, and bring your back knee down and let your right knee join it. Come into your child's pose, arms down by your sides. Inhale, raise your arms up and over your head. Exhaling, hands into the top of the pelvis, lift your chest. Return to your extended child's pose, toes tucked, arms out in front. Drop your forearms, come into your forearm dog. Lower your knees. Come to child's pose, arms resting in a place that feels welcomed, either by your side or in front. Extend your arms, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands and turn your right heel down. As you open up your arms, coming into warrior two. Again, expand from the center outwards. Breathe. Take a breath in. Exhale, windmill the hands to the floor and let your right knee come down. Let your left knee join it. As you come into child's pose, arms by your sides. Take a breath in, raise the arms up, come to high kneeling, inhale. Exhale, hands into the top of the pelvis as you bring the elbows together. As you reach the hands forward, tuck the toes under, drop your forearms, lift up into your forearm dog. Breathe slowly and steady. Let's all meet back in child's pose. Now place your hands either side of your knees to help you rise up. And then swizzle your legs to one side and come to seated. Rest your hands to your thighs. Roll your shoulders up, back and down. Let your eyes close. And be inward for the last few moments. Feeling your in-breath rise and your out-breath soften. Place the palms together, bow your head to your heart, and together we bow our hearts. Letting the eyes open and lift the head. Honour yourself and your practice. Thank you.